This video has been brought to you by Skillshare, which is an online learning community with thousands of classes on different topics from pottery to film editing and flower arrangement, which is the class that I'm taking this morning. But more on that a little bit later. Sweet morning to you. It's been a little while since my last video, and that's because a lot has happened since the last time that I recorded and put footage online. So yeah, we've been busy with a lot of things, and I think the major change in our life is us welcoming our sweet little baby Iris. She's been in our lives for the past 3 months. She turned 3 months old today. So she was born on the 5th of May for my birthday. And yeah, life has been really hectic ever since she was born, obviously. We've been busy getting to discover ourselves as new parents, getting to know her, but also exploring our surroundings, which we have been doing a lot of, welcoming family, baking, and yeah, just enjoying life, enjoying summer. So it's been, yeah, as I said, like a really busy couple of months, but honestly, it's been wonderful. We cannot be more grateful for the life that we have in this beautiful part of Brittany. It's been a little bit challenging to get back to a normal routine, if you will, and get as much work as I was used to before becoming a mom. So I'm trying to take it easy and not be too hard on myself, but it's been really tough because I have all of these dreams, all of these goals, all of these projects that I want to be working on, but at the same time, I have a little adorable daughter that is requiring my presence every couple of hours. So I have to be there for her at the same time. I'm trying to get as much work as I can when she's napping. She is at the moment, by the way. So yeah, I try to do my simple knitting when she's napping. When she's not, I can still knit with, thanks to her little rocking chair. She gets entertained for a little while, so I can get a couple of stitches here and there. And then, yeah, when I have to do more like computer work, like writing patterns and stuff, I usually try to do that in the evening. So from the time I put her down to bed, which varies between anything from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., I try to get my work done at that time. So I get a couple of hours of work in the evening, and then there's a new coffee shop that opened a block away from us, actually. So I try to go there on Monday afternoon, actually, and do email work, and anything computer related. So yeah, She loves her baby carrier, so luckily I can like walk around for a couple of minutes and then she falls asleep, and then have 1 or 2 hours to work on the computer. So that has been working great for us so far. So fingers crossed that she will still enjoy it for a couple more months, and then we will adjust to the new routine, I guess. July and August are probably the busiest month for me as a knitter and as a designer, and it might sound surprising because who really wants to knit with thick and warm wool when the weather is so hot outside? And gosh, it's been hot in this part of Europe over the past couple of weeks. Thankfully, it started to cool down a little bit, but it's been quite interesting to work with quite warm wool on my lap when it was more than 30 degrees inside. So yeah, summer is the busiest season of the year for me because I'm working on all of these projects for the fall and for winter. So when the weather starts to get really warm, this is when you will find the warmest wool on my lap. And I've been working on a couple of jumper designs over the past couple of weeks, and one of which is knit out of Plotulopi, which is probably one of my favorite yarn. It's an unspun Icelandic yarn. It comes in beautiful plates, and it's just wonderful to knit with. So I've been using that with one strand of mohair silk held together, and I've completed a jumper, and I'm just starting to work on another version which is going to be cropped, so I will be able to wear it over high-waisted skirts this winter, and I'm so thrilled about this project. I have another jumper on the needles that features a lot of texture and bubbles, and that is completely different from the mindless stockinette stitch in around that I'm working on with Plotulopi. I've also completed a new pair of socks which will be available at the beginning of the fall. It is knit out of my favorite sock yarn, which is Mondim by Rosa Pomar, and this very specific skein was dyed by La Bien-Aimée. Yeah, I will be visiting the shop once again in September because we're going to be staying in Paris for a couple of days to visit my parents and to do a couple of administrative things. So I'm looking forward to going to the yarn shop once again and petting all of the beautiful yarn. And the last thing that I have on my needles right now is a new design for rosy green wool, which I have been working with a couple of times in the past, and the design will be released in December. So I need to have the sample ready by the end of August. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. It's a rainy day here in Brittany, and I've been working this morning on some editing things. I've been doing a little bit of simple knitting, and the plan for today is more simple knitting because I have all of these deadlines coming up very soon, and yeah, I need to have 2 projects of the needles before the end of August. So yeah, I have a lot of knitting to do. I get asked very often how many hours a day I spend knitting, and yeah, that's a very interesting question because a lot of people might assume that because, you know, knitting is my job, that I get to spend hours and hours and hours knitting, and that is not often, or that is not always the case. There are days when I don't even touch my knitting needles, and there are days when I can spend, well, 5 or 6 hours knitting, depending on if a little someone needs me or not. But it very varies from day to day, depending on the deadlines and yeah, what I have to do. So today's a knitting day, and yeah, it's not hot anymore, so I'm really grateful for the kind of gloomy weather, so I can stay in and have like the fairy lights on. I'm going to light a couple of candles and just enjoy myself, watching a couple of things and working on my knitting. When I knit, I cannot just knit and do nothing else. So I either have to watch something, listen to an audiobook or a podcast. I always need like my hands to be entertained, and my spirit, or like my brain, needs to be active as well. So if I'm not working on, let's say, like something complicated, like, I don't know, like a color work portion or a stitch pattern that requires more of my attention, I will be watching something on the big screen, or yeah, as I have said, like listening to an audiobook and completely zone out, sort of. I'm still kind of counting stitches here and there and making sure that I'm not making mistakes, but for the most part my eyes are not looking at the knitting. So I need to have like that extra source of entertainment. So recently I have been watching quite a few videos on Skillshare, which are this week's sponsored. I have been taking a couple of classes on different topics, and I love all sorts of things. So I took classes not only to like learn new skills, but also to get inspired by other makers, because that is one of my favorite things to do, just to look at how people arrange their creative spaces and, you know, how they work and things like that. So it's been really entertaining to watch those people and learn some new skills. So recently I've been taking a pottery class. It's not like I can practice or anything, but I've always loved pottery, and the lady that I'm watching has a very inspiring workspace as well. So I've been enjoying that. A flower arrangement class as well, because if I wouldn't have been a knitwear designer, and if I would have had the guts to follow my gut feeling when I was in high school, I would probably have become a florist at some point. So I've been learning a couple of new things about how to preserve plants when you make like flower arrangements and stuff. So yeah, I'm just enjoying myself quite a bit.
The texture is really great. It has a sort of grassy, wild, feral look. And these are going to be our base foliage, and that's what we're going to use to really start to create our shape and our...
I just wanted to say a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. They are offering a 2-month free premium access to all of their classes, so all you have to do to enjoy that is to click on the link in the description box and sign up. This afternoon I'm still gonna be doing some knitting, as I have said. At the moment, I'm working on a design pattern that will be published in December, and that's another collaboration with Rosy Green Wool with their Merino Manx Fine, I think. Yeah, Manx Merino Fine, which is a rare breed. And yeah, I'm doing a shawl pattern for them, and this is a really beautiful yarn to work with. So I have that on the needles, and the other thing that I'm going to be working on this afternoon, I'm trying to do like 1 hour of each so then I'm not neglecting any project, is my Plotulopi pattern. Is the little jumper that I talked about a little bit earlier and that I took with me the other day to the field after we went foraging. So yeah, this is how much progress I made so far, and I'm using one skein, or one plate rather, of Plotulopi. This one is the Forest Heather, which I got from Alafos, I think. It's an online retailer of Icelandic yarn, and this little mohair and silk yarn from Knitting for Olive. And yeah, I'm holding them together, and I must say that when I received the Plotulopi, I had a little bit of a scare because I had ordered the bubble green yarn before, and I thought that they would match perfectly, but when I received the Plotulopi, it happened that the two greens did not really match. I'm gonna show you more closely, and I was super scared that when I would knit them up, like the colors wouldn't blend nicely together. So these are the two colors. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like the two greens are not really working together when you look at them like this. But actually, this is the color that you get by blending the two together, and I couldn't be more happy with the color combination because this is the green that I wanted to get. So I'm super happy about that. And this knit is so enjoyable because I've joined in around, and I finished doing all of the short row shaping on the back. So at the moment I'm just working on the raglan increases, so it's pretty much mindless, and it gives me plenty of time to watch my little videos and not really pay attention to the knitting, and that's probably what I love doing the most in my job, in my work. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to that while the little one is napping, and I will talk to you a little bit later.